Hello and welcome everyone to a Sacred Symbols reading. I'm your host, Desiree DeMars, and I am inviting you today to join me in a sacred invocation to open up a sacred and divine circle that will allow us to be in coherence with our heart and head. And this way we will have whatever desire, whatever questions, whatever inquiry we have today to come from the heart and expand through the opening of all of our chakras and this beautiful toroidal field that we are creating here together of intention. So take a deep breath or two in through the nose and then hold. And then exhale through the mouth. Just letting the head, neck, and shoulders relax. And again, another deep breath in. Hold, activating the vagal nerve. And then exhaling through the mouth. Beautiful. And then calling in any guide, angel, teacher, guardian that you have for protection and power, so that as we create the ceremony together, you feel empowered and protected. So I ask my specialty guide to come forth, bringing their shield of power and protection, so that what is mine and what is yours, and we both sit in the circle amongst spirit in a sovereign way, right? Fully in our own power. So with that, let's call in all of the directions: the east, the south, the west, the north, above, below, and the middle. Come and be with us. Come and be with us. All of the elementals: earth, air, fire, water, ether, plasma, neutrinos, and gammas, and all those elements yet unknown to man. Come and be with us. Come and be with us. Bring your divine light into this circle and join us as we call in all of our guides, angels, teachers, guardians, magical and mystical ones, the seen and the unseen, the two-legged, the four-legged, the many-legged, the winged ones, the finned ones, the creepy crawlers. Come and be with us. Come and be with us. Join us in this sacred ceremony. Come and be with us. All of our ancestors, those who've gone before us, lived a good life and transcended and are now here working on our behalf. Come and be with us. Come and be with us. To all of those whose names we do not know, but whose blood runs through our veins, come and be with us and join us in this sacred circle today. And then imagine a brilliant white light surrounding us, enveloping us, and bringing us even more deeply down to the center of the earth. And as we feel that central point, that beautiful, holy, molten lava, that fiery red energy activating as it flows up through our central channel, activating all of our chakras so that all of our chakras are open, fully functioning, front and back, balanced and aligned. Just take a moment to really feel that, so that now all the colors of the rainbows are flowing up through the central channel and spilling out infinitely, eternally through this toroidal field. Through this soul that we are, not just a body, but the soul and the oversoul that guides us through this lifetime that we've chosen here on earth. So just take a moment to fully feel that, sense the colors, allow your imagination, your innocence, your awe and wonder for all that surrounds us, all that is given to us each day, and that the ancestors who've gone before us have opened a pathway for us to create a future. right? We have the launching pad for our future. So now I'd like to rattle for a few seconds, and then I'll bring the basket out and we'll blow together 3 times into the basket with our inquiry. Aho. And may all that is asked for and all that is given not only benefit us, but benefit all those we come in contact with. Here we go. 3 times. Your heartfelt inquiry. Thank you. And then I'll join you on the other side with my overhead camera so that you get a bird's eye view of the spread. We've blown into the basket, and this particular throw will be for the Taurus full moon and partial lunar eclipse on the 28th of October 2023. So here we go. Right, so I am sitting here and you would be sitting on this end of the cloth or the screen if we were in person. And this is a beautiful spread. It's pretty full out, covering a nice portion, evenly covering the center here. Although this one piece, I thought it was going to go roll off the cloth, but here it is, and it did not. But it's this is Neptune, so that which is kind of hidden and foggy and out of reach, it's, I think, you know, that's beautifully placed actually, because it's just something that's on the outside. So it's almost as if it's symbolic of this veil that we're coming into, this time where the veil is thin and we are able to see more deeply into what truly is. And the first piece I'd like to look at here is, or just to focus on, is this is the inquiry, this piece of white coral. And there's an interesting little piece of shell right on the top of it, kind of stuck in the crook of it, which, so here, if this was the inquiry, it's kind of right in the center, which is all about ceremony. It's about, well, it's about the sacred, you know, really recognizing the sacred in all things. So it's asking, in fact, if this was our inquiry, and we're saying, you know, show us the sacred here, the first thing that's coming out is the shaman, right? It's like being your own shaman. And it's time, it's really time to be your own medicine, I call it. And from that higher perspective, right, with deep, deep insight from the third eye, and then speaking your truth, whatever it is that you see, whatever comes through, you speak it, right? And so this is our entry point into the reading. It's very interesting because there's really nothing right around it here. Everything is kind of underneath it, which is really fascinating because the piece that's touching it here at the base is you, is whoever is receiving this reading, and our feet are touching. So feet to feet, it's almost like as above, so below. So, as above and as what we are asking for to come in and bring guidance for us, we can know that it is also mirrored here below on the earth plane and through us in physical form. And it is through our innocence, this is Deer Toe, telling us, reminding us that it's about being in awe and wonder and this state of innocence. Taking time for introspection, right, in order to see what is not yet created. And we've got two little timekeepers close by here, and they're both facing with their bellies down. So that is kind of telling me that it's all about, rather than a big movement right now, it's about taking a pause, right? Like taking a pause, taking time for introspection. And then we have an ancestor close by, which is your mother's mother, your grandmother. And star nations are right there next to her. And then also we've got father, mother, great ones, greats, and the great great greats on your father's side. So very interesting little configuration there of ancestors, all about frequency. You know, really, it's a matter of frequency, tuning into them, because they are part of this greater star nation, right? If they've transcended or they have transitioned across the veil, you know, they can be a part of this vision that we have. A part of that vision that we all share collectively is to, of course, stay connected to those that went before us. And even if there were things that were challenging or traumatic, I say, you know, that we could transform by through the knowing of what happened, what transpired, we can transform that trauma into wisdom, right? So that the future is clear, the future is freeing. And that's pretty fascinating because we've got horse upside down here, leaning up against the great mystery, which is really fascinating. So moving forward, he's got his feet on it. It's like he's dancing on top of the great mystery, the all that is. And really, the secret, or the, you know, the secret sauce about the great mystery is really it's all facing down, right? So it's all within. Again, it's about going within. It's in the deepest inner circle here, this inner diamond. We've got mother, like I said, and that which is not yet created. And we have rattle. Rattle is all about calling in. So speak your truth and call in whatever it is that you feel is your true vision, right? Speak the words. There's your throat chakra. And this, I believe, yeah, is Mars energy. So, you know, take action. Take action to recognize. I mean, action can even be, you know, taking a bath or relaxing. That's a more passive or feminine action, but it is action that supports this idea of introspection, right? In order to see clearly what is next. What is the next step in something that we are creating with, co-creating with mother, father energy, right? The masculine and the feminine coming together to create something new. And this is fascinating. We've got the lock here right next to this redstone, which is all about passion, right? Soul retrieval. You know, if you haven't done a soul retrieval in a while, or you're interested in one, let me know. I'd be happy to facilitate a soul retrieval for you. And that's what's kind of where things are hidden. You know, these parts, these soul parts that have split off because of trauma, or even things that were just outside of our control, but something that happened where we disconnected, we split off, right? The soul disconnected. And it's really time now to have a transfiguration, allowing this part or these pieces to come back, to speak your truth. This is talking stick, you know, to really speak and express, it just could be expression in any way, shape, or form. It could be dressing up for Halloween. It could be, I saw a beautiful piece about somebody who is a walking piece of art. He is an amazing being who most of his life has made sculpture, made himself a part of this walking sculpture that he is. So really speak your truth. This transfiguration. You have grandfather on your mother's side. So your mother's father is right here, aligned with this idea of transfiguration to bring back, balance of mind. Boy, do we ever need that, right? Balance of mind through all of this transition with DNA, as we go through this Kuiper belt, and we are just being bombarded with light, photonic light. We're going through the photon belt, and this light, this crystalline white light is now coming through like it's never done before. So this is something new. It's awakening something in all of us, right? In all of us, to bring more clarity of mind. Really get the mind aligned with the heart, and these fractured pieces, let's bring them back into wholeness, and wholeness, especially through our work. This little tip of Elkhorn is all about work. Your work in the world, this greater soul's work in the world. It's time for a rebirth, right? A rebirth. And we've got Mercury here right on top of this symbol of rebirth, and making a wish about your home. Where is home? What is home? Maybe you're creating new aspects of community, and that's home. But this is all about rebirth and this idea of communications, communicating, right, on this wheel of life, in this life that you've chosen this time. So communication is really important, right? And as we just go around the circle here clockwise, I'm seeing we have a fork in the road, which is really fascinating because it's right on the blueprint. So this may be a time in your astrological chart even that you're feeling like a choice point. This does seem to be a collective choice point for us. Do we want to go with love or fear? That seems to be the ultimate. And this is going to affect us physically, which I'm sure everybody is feeling. The world is changing. The toxins in and on the planet have reached critical mass, and we're all having to up our game, whether it's because we need to detox or just because we need to learn more about nutrition, about who we truly are, physically, mentally, and emotionally and spiritually. So just notice, it might be a great time to get an astrological reading or listen to some astrology about these incredible times during these eclipses. These eclipses don't just come and go. We're being affected by the eclipses that came before us this year, and now and what this one that's happening now. And so it's kind of cumulative, and it's the collective that's really being imprinted with this idea of making a choice, a fork in the road, a choice point, right? And it's about partnering and using creativity, new ways of creating a new world, right? Creating a new earth. What does that actually mean to you? And then we've got a little ancestral action going on here. We've got grandmother on your father's side, your father's mother, and your father's father, grandmother and grandfather. That's interesting. And then these great ones on your mother's side. So beautiful. Angelic realms here really supporting us. They are there for the asking. And so it's really time to make a wish. We've got Buddha practically sitting on this coin that is good for one wish, right? It's called a wish token. So make a wish. It's got a star at the center. So activate the star that you are, recognize the star that you are, and then ask and you shall receive. Right? And again, here's community. We'll scooch this down a little bit. Community resting on the coin that represents abundance, and in the earth, right? This earthly community, these people that you are here in community with on the earth in abundance. And this will be the return of our power, right? Our power. This is being amplified by the sun right now, and this is Venus and Jupiter. Wow, Sun, Jupiter, Venus, and then Pluto right at the center. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we're all going through a huge Plutonian shift, the entire planet, the cosmos. You know, I highly recommend you could backtrack on some of my posts, but you know, really looking at changing of the gods, astrology, the videos, the movie, the full-length movie. It's just a powerful, incredible kind of recap and projection, you know, giving us guidance into the future of what's coming or what's happening astrologically, and affecting these greater waves, these greater cycles in our life right now. Big changes, right? Big changes, huge amplification through Jupiter. Venus, all about power, money, love, beauty. That's up for everyone. Something's going to change and shift probably again with that. Things are brewing. And then, of course, what I said earlier about the sun, we're being, you know, really things are heating up. They're being amplified in that way. And then here is at the top of the head of Buddha here, we've got a key. So that key is what matches this lock. So when we say, what are you feeling where you're stuck with just expressing your passion? Notice if it comes through there's something in your father's lineage that is, you know, kind of, maybe there were some old patterns or beliefs. I know I've got those, and I've worked on those for years now. The many layers of how they've affected my thought processes and my beliefs. So look at your father and see what reflects there, right? And it could even be, since there's the timekeeper there, you know, back in time, father, grandfather, you know, we're looking back even at what got your father to where he was, and now here you are. And how is that affecting you at fully expressing your passion? So what's key to finding that, the key to unlocking that understanding for the wisdom is, you know, be like a Buddha, right? It's like go within, release yourself from suffering, understand, you know, that they suffered and you probably have suffered too, but really do some reflecting about what that means to you and see if there's time now that with these realizations, these downloads that you're most likely getting from up above. This is why we've got this little cross here, this little abalone cross, this brilliant white light coming down from the heavens, connecting you to the superconscious awareness, which is like gazillions of bits of information that's so fast. It's got to come through your superconscious or your subconscious. It has nothing to do with, you know, the daily doodahs that we all get caught up in. You know, and I think it's fascinating we've got mother in here. So it's like mother and father, purification, cleansing, releasing in order to create a new vision. And this is beautiful because these are the ancient women on your mother's side. These are the ancient women on your father's side. And they're kind of here side by side along with this divine light, saying this is the key, right? The divine feminine. It's time to rebalance. You know, we've been saying, the readings have been saying this for years, and so have other people that I know that do divination work. We've been talking about the feminine coming through. In fact, I just heard somebody speak who has been channeling Archangel Michael through his own soul. His oversoul is Archangel Michael. And he was saying, you know, buckle up because it's the women. And we know now that our brains as women function different than most men. It's not right or wrong or good or bad, but here it's more about like just seeing as the eye of God, right? Like seeing with the eye of God, seeing for the benefit of all. That's the divine feminine, right? Um, Wanting, the great multitasker, wanting all to be equal, all to have what they need. It's possible. It's possible if we could shift into the feminine. Here's something that Michael said that I absolutely love. He said the greatest shifts will come when we stop organizing ourselves around consuming and we shift into creating. I mean, that just makes me, brings tears to my heart because, um, things are so out of balance. There are people that have enough for eons and others who barely have food. It's just not right. It's not even close to something called balance. It's just crazy. So, with all that said, oh, we have our little doggy who's arrived. Just in time for the end of the reading. So, just notice what kind of Saturnian or masculine authority type figure, constrictions, confinements have been there in your life through your father's lineage, probably many lineages before that, but that's your launching point. And how has that dampened your creative spirit, your passion? Because there's something locked up there, and all you need to do is release, let go of what no longer serves, and really allow those parts, right, those soul pieces to come back together to create wholeness within you. And that's really when we are whole. Horus is really standing there on the top of this great mystery. There are things we'll never know, so why not just acknowledge the wholeness of who we are in this divine moment? So I will leave you with that, and I'll thank you for joining me on this beautiful journey. And I'll just rattle for a few seconds to close the circle. So please, I encourage you to listen to the recording again and see what came through me, what channeled through me, related to your questions, your inquiry. Okay. In full faith, so be it. Aho.